My daughter called me from the beach and asked me, "Are you having fun with your grandson this week? I hope he's doing okay." I stopped folding laundry as every muscle in my body froze. "Honey, what are you talking about?" She laughed. "I know Levi can be a handful, but I hope he's not driving you too crazy." My stomach dropped. "Sweetheart, Levi isn't here. I thought he was with you." Long silence. "What?" Her voice changed entirely. "I handed him off to Dad on your doorstep on Friday. It was currently Thursday. He was supposed to be staying with you all week. Your father told me you decided to bring him on vacation at the last minute." My hands started shaking so badly I dropped the shirt I was holding. "He said you called him Thursday night and changed your mind about leaving Levi behind because you'd feel too guilty." Each word she spoke made it harder to breathe. "He said you wanted to make beach memories together and asked him to pack Levi's swimsuit and sunscreen." I sat down hard on the couch before my legs gave out. "I never said that." Her breathing got sharp and panicked. "He showed me text messages from you the morning I left, Mom." The room started spinning. "What messages?" She read one out loud and I could hear my own voice in the phrasing, except I had absolutely no memory of writing those words. "He showed me a whole conversation where you told him how excited you were to have Levi at the beach with you." My voice came out hollow. "I've been home alone all week." Another terrible silence while that information settled between us. "Then where is my son right now?" Her voice cracked with pure terror. I realized my husband had been sending me cheerful updates all week about how much fun Levi was having at the beach with his mother, stories about sandcastles and seashells and ice cream cones, detailed descriptions of restaurants they supposedly visited, and tide pools they explored together. Every single word had been a complete fabrication designed to keep me from asking questions. I called my husband immediately. "Where is Levi right now?" He hesitated for just a second too long. "He's staying with Craig for the week." The name hit me like a bucket of ice water. "You left our 5-year-old grandson with Craig?" Craig was his strange friend from the accounting firm who still lived in his mother's basement. "Look, it's not that big of a deal." I could barely form words. "You paid Craig to watch him?" He got defensive in that way he always does when he knows he's messed up. "I had that golf tournament in Richmond and Craig said he could use some extra cash. Our daughter is at the beach right now because we promised to watch her son." My voice shook with rage. "She thinks we have him and you gave him to Craig?" The silence on his end told me he was starting to understand how badly he'd screwed this up. "Golf." My vision started going dark at the edges. "You picked a golf tournament over your grandson." He tried to backtrack. "It wasn't just about golf. Craig is perfectly capable of watching a kid." Something fundamental broke inside my chest. "You created fake text messages from my phone to trick our daughter." More silence. "I just didn't want her stressing out on her vacation." Nausea rolled through my stomach. "So your solution was to lie to both of us for an entire week." I hung up and called my daughter back. "Your father left Levi with Craig so he could play golf." She made a horrible choking sound. "I'm leaving right now." She was 4 hours away. "I'll meet you there." I grabbed my keys and drove to Craig's mother's house. When I pulled up, I could hear explosions and screaming from inside. I walked through the unlocked door to find Levi inches from a massive television playing some horrifically violent video game with blood everywhere. Empty pizza boxes were stacked on every surface and piled on the floor. My grandson was wearing the same outfit from last Friday, his hair greasy and matted. "When was the last time you gave him a bath?" Craig shrugged from the couch. I figured he'd tell me if he felt dirty. I started checking Levi over. "What have you been feeding him?" Craig gestured at the pizza boxes. "Pizza and chicken nuggets mostly. That's what kids like." I pulled out my phone and started taking pictures. "My husband paid you $200 for this." Craig sat up defensive. "Hey, I didn't do anything wrong. I kept him alive, didn't I?" Those words made my blood boil. Levi looked up from the screen and started crying when he saw me. "Grandma, I really want to go home now." I thought about every text my husband had sent me this week asking how the beach vacation was going, the detailed responses describing sandcastle competitions and hermit crab hunts. "You told me they found a starfish on Tuesday morning." My voice sounded dead. "You described the tide pools and said Levi named it Patrick after SpongeBob." The realization of how elaborate my husband's lies had been made me physically ill. "You invented an entire week of vacation memories while our grandson was living in this disaster." My daughter called from the road. "I'm about 2 hours away still." Her voice was breaking. Craig started edging toward the door. "Look, lady, I just did the job your husband paid me to do." I turned on him with fury blazing. "The job was keeping a child safe and you completely failed."